Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It's so wonderful to see you all here. My name is Moira Anderson, and I'm the Associate Director of Public Programs here at Crystal Bridges Museum. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the Great Hall for this performance this evening, as well as those who are tuning in virtually tonight. I want to begin the program with our Indigenous Peoples Acknowledgement. I'd like to recognize Crystal Bridges' roles as settlers and guests in the Northwest Arkansas region. We acknowledge the Caddo, Quapaw, and Osage, as well as the many Indigenous caretakers of this land and water. We appreciate the enduring influence of the vibrant, diverse, and contemporary cultures of Indigenous peoples. We are conscious of the role in colonizations that museums have played. As cultural institutions, we have a responsibility to engage in the dismantling of historical and systemic invisibility of Indigenous peoples past, present, and future. We choose to intentionally hold ourselves accountable to appropriate conversation, representation, connection, and education to facilitate a space of measurable change. We are absolutely thrilled once again to bring you an innovative performance in the beauty of our Great Hall tonight. Tonight's program is made possible by the Cliburn Concert Series endowment. Contributors include Kelly and Marty Sedeth, Reed and Marianne Greenwood, Ellis and Kay Milton, Chip and Susan Chambers, and Alice Walton. A special thanks to Tommy Smith and Steinway and Sons. We are so grateful for your support of the arts and performance and your encouragement to seek new ways to expand the reach of this series. Please join me now in thanking them this evening. Since the Cliburn Concert Series began in 2016, many internationally renowned musicians perform annually on our Cliburn Concert Grand. Our dedication to presenting performances that support the mission of Crystal Bridges Museum has been carried forward throughout many of the rich and varied programs presented here in the Great Hall and virtually. And I am so honored once again to welcome you all for tonight's concert that will continue to expand our experience of artistic collaboration and music. The performance tonight with Elio Villafranca brings together selections from his Grammy-nominated album Cinque and two new projects, Don't Change My Name and Standing by the Crossroads. Each piece invokes the stories, struggles, and triumphs of the Caribbean peoples, as well as the artist's personal experiences. This is the first time that this concert is being performed, and we are so honored to premiere it here at the museum. The performance this evening is additionally possible due to the thoughtful curation and creative dedication of Robert Ginsberg and the Northwest Arkansas Jazz Society. And on behalf of Crystal Bridges, I want to express our sincere gratitude for Robert's partnership. For the past 40 years, Robert has been cultivating and preserving the art form of jazz for generations of music lovers in Arkansas. And as the founder of the Northwest Arkansas Jazz Society, a nonprofit membership organization dedicated to present, promote, and preserve and celebrate jazz music in all of its forms, the Northwest Arkansas Jazz Society has brought world-class jazz musicians to Arkansas, created a scholarship program for music students wishing to further pursue their jazz education, and has sponsored a summer jazz concert series, which features regional and international artists in the concerts together. To introduce the performance this evening, I'm going to pass the mic to Robert, who has been my creative and treasured thought partner and dedicated collaborator with us for many wonderful performances over the years. I have no doubt that tonight will continue to be one for the books. Please join me now in welcoming Robert Ginsberg.
It's so wonderful to see you all here, and I would echo all of the thank yous that Moira expressed to the people that make this possible. This is the second time I've had the pleasure of working with Elio Villafranca. He's a 2021 recipient of the Guggenheim Fellowship, a 2-time Grammy nominee, and the list of accolades go on and on. Not the least of which is the 2019 Downbeat Critics Poll Rising Star Pianist Award as well. Over the years, Elio has worked literally with a who's who of jazz icons, from Wynton Marsalis and Sonny Fortune and Candido Camero and on and on and on. So it's a great pleasure to have him here in this environment where he can really showcase not only his virtuosity, but the depth of field and his connection to the roots of this music. Virtuoso musicians abound, but rarely do I run across musicians who are so deeply connected to where the music comes from, and what it can do in the world. We will also experience tonight the debut, as Moira said, of some of the works with the University of Arkansas Inspirational Choir, led by Jeffry Murdock. I'd like to thank Dr. Murdock and the talented students for diving into this project, and they add yet another dimension to Elio's work. I'm also very grateful to the extraordinary staff here at Crystal Bridges, not only for their commitment to projects such as this, but for their fearless approach to presenting these sort of performances that enrich all of our lives. So let's hear it for Crystal Bridges. Thank you. There is so much more I could say about Elio, and not only as a musician, but as a person. But I think now it's time for the words to end and the music to begin. There will be CDs available and a children's book that Elio wrote that's just absolutely charming. I'm halfway through it. I'll finish it later. Also, let me remind you to please silence your phones. No video recording. This is being live streamed, and the video will be available, a very high quality video. If you want to take pictures, you can do so, but please be aware of everyone around you. And at this time, I would like to encourage you to give a Northwest Arkansas welcome to Elio Villafranca.
Let me follow orders. Let me take my drinks off. Otherwise. And wait. Doesn't want to go off. Okay, here we go. All right. Well, thank you so much. On. Okay. Now, can you hear me? Awesome. Wow. Thank you for coming. It is a very warm Arkansas welcome. Thank you so much for that. The program today is going to be special, not only for you, but for me too. Because I'm premiering all of this music here for you, but also for myself. I wrote a lot of this music during the pandemic time, and I've been writing, all along. But I had never had the opportunity to present the work the way I actually envisioned it, which was basically having a live performance, like the screen behind me, where you can see a lot of the information that inspired me to write the music. And this particular performance is linked to the exhibition that's coming up soon here, so it's double special. The first piece, the first thing I'm gonna play for you is a series of 3 pieces that are gonna be all together. And this is from my first album, Cinque, from my last album, Cinque. And I'm not gonna go too much into it, but if you're familiar with the Cinque story, it's one of the most fascinating stories that ties Cuba, America, North America, and Africa. So it's the only story that I know that kind of like creates that kind of circle. And then I'm gonna, after that, I'm gonna stop and then check on you and see how you're doing. All right? So we're gonna start with that. Cinque, the capture and troubled waters. Yeah, you can applaud. All right.
It was 1814 when Joseph Cinque, formerly known as Cinque, PA, a West African man of the Mende people, was born as a free man in the country of Sierra Leone. 1807, the United States Congress joined with Great Britain in abolishing the African slave trade. Despite the international ban, Cuba continued transporting captive Africans to its sugar plantations until the 1860s. At age 25, Cinque was illegally captured and forced to board a slave ship bound to Havana, Cuba.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I bet it feels like you're in the movie theater, right? So anyway, that was the first part of the program, so those three pieces together. Now I'm gonna play a song. This one is a new song, if you will. This one is entitled "A Song for Freedom." And I think this song is kind of speaks about the time that we're in, that we live in this generation specifically. In my home country, for example, there's a lot of struggle with that, and then also in America, there's a lot of struggle with that. So, and then this song just came to me like as a whole song. Normally, when you're in a composition process, for those who knows about composition, sometimes the song comes in parts and pieces. Sometimes it's an image, sometimes it's a melody, sometimes it's, the weather, I don't know. But sometimes it just comes, the piece comes like, it's almost like came from the sky and then just landing in your head, and then from your head just pour down into your hands, and then you write it. And this one was like this is a song for peace. And then after that, I'm gonna bring the special guests, okay? A song for peace. Thank you. Now we're gonna bring our special guest of the evening, and I'm really honored to collaborate with these really wonderful, young, talented human beings and musicians, and also under the direction of Dr. Jeffry Murdock. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this. Now, this is a brand new piece. You're gonna listen to this for the first time. I'm also listening for the first time, and I'm as excited as you are. And the piece speaks about, this is my latest project. Is entitled "Don't Change My Name." And this project is about a young girl who was born in Africa, in Nigeria at the time. And then during the slave trade, she was captured when she was 15 years of age, and then she was brought to Cuba as a slave. But before she was captured, she moved from Nigeria, where her name was Tolonyo. And then she moved to Dahomey at the time, which is now it's called Benin, when her name was changed to Natege. And then when she was captured there in Dahomey, then she was brought to Cuba, and then her new owner, changed her name to Florentina. And then that's the reason why this piece that I'm writing is entitled "Don't Change My Name." She became like one of the leaders on the Arara community. Arara community is one of those traditions in Cuba, from the Afro-Cuban tradition that is really prevalent and ancient in the province of Matanzas in Cuba. And then the first piece is entitled "Call to the Arrival," which is like my idea of her just arriving to Cuba, her journey and then arriving to Cuba. And then Prologue to Tolonyo is the second piece, and the second piece speaks about more like the introduction to her as a person. So thank you so much, and enjoy. Aren't they wonderful and beautiful? Wow. Thank you. The next piece, wait, before, are you guys doing okay? You having a good time? Are you enjoying yourself? Thank you. Yeah. So I want to make sure. The next piece is it's entitled Madre, agua, and it's a piece. Cuba is an island, and then for us, the sea is really important. For every cultural traditions in the Afro-Cuban kind of diaspora of music, that means like Yoruban traditions and Abaqua traditions and Congolese traditions and tumba francesa traditions and all of these forms, water is very important because we're an island. So then I come from a town, it's called San Luis, and then I was raised in a Congolese tradition kind of known as tambor yuca. That's my earliest contact to culture and music and everything, like since I was a baby. So in the Congolese tradition, there is a system of symbols and signs. They call it signs, or firmas. They call it firmas. I don't know. In English, it might be translated as signs. And then those signs has a lot of meaning. And one of the things that I did during my album Cinque, I did a little bit of research about those signs and symbols, and I used them as a tool of composition. So this piece entitled Madre Agua is also the name of one of those symbols. And by the way, the symbol that you're gonna see, according to their tradition, is one of the oldest symbols that there existed. And then from that symbol, many other symbols evolve, or many of the firmas evolve. So what is unique about this piece, what you're gonna see, actually you've never seen this anywhere, anybody in the world has seen this, because first of all, the signs are normally done on the ground, and it's not done on water. It's called Madre Agua, or Mother of Water. It's not done on water. But I had the idea to, since it's called Madre Agua, I wanted to put the sign in the water. And then I talked to an animation designer, and then she made it possible. So this image is very unique, and you guys had the first time to see it. You know how lucky you are? Right. Madre Agua. Thank you. Now, this is the part when you guys get to participate. And this is you know what this is? There you go. He got it. Behave. So yes, it is a hoe, but then actually it's a musical instrument too. In Cuba, a lot of the Africans used to use this as an instrument, and I found this one. I did a lot of research how to find one that has a really good sound. It's really beautiful. They don't make it like this anymore. They don't. I mean, I'm telling you, they don't. This is like real steel, and it has like a very beautiful sound. So, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna teach you like a little rhythmic pattern that you guys can clap. You can put your programs in your laps, and then you can clap. And then this is in the Arara tradition, and then I'm gonna be singing, and you guys are gonna be clapping. So I need that to be able to sing, otherwise I won't be able to sing. So this is the pattern. And then you have to keep the pattern for as long as you want to. So if I stop when I go to the piano, please keep it up. Okay? Don't be shy. So the pattern is like this. It's very simple. 1, 2, 3, 1. It's like a waltz, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Right. O hunde garanta nu mio, o mai son de me a mi querere. O hunde garanta nu mio, o mai son de me a mi querere. Boroni taragua dona do me wao. O hunde garanta nu mio, o mai son de me a mi querere. Boroni taragua dona do me wao. Hunde garata nu mio, o mai son de me a mi querere. O hunde garata nu mio, o mai son de me a mi querere. Boroni taragua dona do me wao. O hunde garata nu mio, o mai son de me a mi querere. Boroni taragua dona do me wao. O hunde garata nu mio, o mai son de me a mi querere. O hunde garata nu mio, o mai son de me a mi querere. Boroni taragua dona do me wao. O hunde garata nu mio, o mai son de me a mi querere. Boroni taragua dona do me wao. Beautiful. Keep going. Thank you. You guys were wonderful. Thank you. Now, this piece is entitled "New Sky," and this is based on the story on what happened during the slave trade. Many of the people who were enslaved, they managed to escape, and then they would go to the hills. They would run to the hills, to the mountains, and then they would escape from the sugar plantations or things like that. But what was interesting, actually, what people didn't know about this mostly is like when they escape, when they go to these places, you know, there were already people in there. They were like native Indians were hiding from the colonial, you know, things that was happening on those islands. The ones who survived, they would go to the mountains, and then they would stay there protected, and then they start bringing Africans, and then when the Africans escaped, then when they meet all these new people. And to me, that's fascinating because could you imagine being in a different country, be taken by force, and then going in a different country, and then manage to escape after a lot of, you know, hard labor and everything, and then you're thinking, I'm getting the freedom, and then you get there and so already people that you don't even know. And then you have, you know, but they learn to coexist and learn to share, you know, everything. And that's how the Garifuna culture was founded. The Garifuna from Belize and Honduras and all this, you know, is basically based on that. It's the meeting of these two cultures. So this piece is entitled New Sky, because that's what we're trying to find, a new sky, a new place to live.
In 1655, the English attacked and overtook Spanish Jamaica. During the siege, the enslaved Africans ran to the mountains where they found refuge and freedom amongst indigenous people.
1, 2. Okay, here we go. Thank you so much. I think we are at the end of the program, so we have 2 more pieces that they're all tied together. And this one is entitled San Isidro, and San Isidro is a region in Havana. And then from that region, like not a region, like a neighborhood in Havana, and from that neighborhood, this really wonderful movement evolved, this movement of they were really protesting artist injustice and all these things that happen, in this world that we live in, especially in countries where government are very dictatorial, if you will, like setting the rules of the game and then not allowing people to strive as artists and things like that. So these artists created a movement, it's called San Isidro movement, and then I was really inspired by what they were standing for, and that created a really powerful movement in Cuba of freedoms and equal right to everybody and equal justice and everything. So this piece is dedicated to them. But before I play the last piece, I want to first thank the museum for having the opportunity to present my music here. Moira and Megan and all the people that I was working for all this time, and then I didn't really get to know their names very well. And Robert, who was the mastermind, who was the person who kind of like, put all this together. And Dr. Jeffry Murdock, thank you so much for your time. Were you? Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for your time and your wonderful choir, beautiful voices. Thank you so much for your time and for dedication to this music. Really, really, really very special. And thank you to all the founders and the people who are behind to making this happen. Really, it's a wonderful place. I had the opportunity yesterday to walk around, and I would keep telling Robert, man, you guys never sleep? This is going on. Like, when I thought I was going to the hotel, they pull, and then they put me to these places, and I was like, oh, we're going to see some lights. Okay, great, we're going to see some lights. But the seeing some light was like a 2-hour thing. It's like, oh, wow. It's like always constant moving, always like interesting things. And honestly, I don't think I haven't seen any museum. Believe me, I go to museums a lot. And I haven't seen a museum where it has so much stuff to see. And there's like, probably there's still people walking around this hour, like going around, and it's unbelievable. So, Anne, thank you for coming. That's the most important thing. Thank you for coming, because without you and for supporting the museum, supporting live music, and supporting everything, because without you, we wouldn't be here. And I'm glad that see everybody wearing masks and everybody's respecting protocols and everything. And I will have CDs for sale. I'm happy to sign it for you. And I have also a book, very awesome book called Who Ate the Pie. And anyway, San Isidro, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for this wonderful audience. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you guys for... Come on. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jeffrey. And thank you for coming. Thank you.